Have you thought about buying new construction in the Tigard Bull Mountain area? Well, in this video, we're going to take you through some neighborhoods that are new construction, planned communities. That's not really easy to find here in the Portland area, especially out in the burbs. But yet we have a planned community to share with you today. So we're getting after it right now.
If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in the greater Portland metro area, then click that subscribe button and tap that notification bell so that you can be the first to know about everything in our market.
I'm Ann Stewart. This is Erica Hagfirst, and we get people reaching out to us all the time about making a move to the Portland area, and we love what we do. So if that's you, you're thinking about making a move, our information is in the description below. Reach out to us. Let's jump on a Zoom call and let's help you make that smooth transition too. So we are showing you a Riverside, which is the first Riverside community going in of single family homes. Average price range is in the 800s. They go a little bit lower and a bit higher than that as well in this neighborhood. This is a master plan community that is the first that it started. We are now seeing a second phase of that happening as we speak, where it's a little bit more higher density. They've got more affordability going on, and they're all going to connect and eventually have retail and commercial space and a diversity of housing. But the one behind us that we're showing you is really the single family home master plan community. And we're walking through a park that they've incorporated into this. It's a great park. It's got a lot going for it. But it's been organized. So there's four different builders.
So kind of the cool thing about a master plan community, which Portland, in the Portland metro area, does not have a lot of these. They are not, we are a little bit more grassroots. We like our individuality. But these master plan communities, they have multiple builders generally. And it's a very organized, thought out process. So they kind of include everything that you're gonna need on your day-to-day basis. Like Ann was talking about, they're gonna have shopping and stores, both grocery and retail. But really, you've got parks, you've got walking paths. It's very family friendly, very safe. You can go out and do your morning runs or whatever you need to do and feel like you're in a very safe community within your bigger community. Lots of single family homes, or like Ann said, in this development 2.0 edition, there's going to be a little bit more density. So a little bit of something for everybody, but a really nice community feel that builds in green spaces. And to go along with that, some of the reason that they do build in these green spaces is because they're making these neighborhoods dense. So even the single family homes aren't going to have huge lots. And part of that's because they're going to build in these parks, and that's where everybody's going to come to play with their kids or their dogs or whatever it is. You're going to go into the community for your runs and your walks. You're not getting that in your own space. But lovely homes, lovely green area. It's like living in a park.
Yeah. And there are various builders. It's not just one builder. We see Taylor Morrison, Pacific Lifestyle. One of the largest Japanese builders is here called Ichijo. And
they've got some really cool features in some of their houses. If you aren't familiar with them. There's also, I believe, Stonebridge, David Weekley.
So really good builders. They do mass produce, but they all have really good reputations and they build a good quality house. And so you can see several different styles of property up here because we have several different builders. And there's still a lot of lots left, and you can kind of choose floor plans here and there.
Something to keep in mind, especially if you're coming into like a planned community early on, is that, build times on a lot of these homes are generally about 6 months from the time that they have permits and they break ground. So sometimes you get better pricing if you come in early and they maybe don't have their model home of every style and you're buying off of a floor plan. But just know that build times do range about 6 months from the breaking of ground with permits. Permits is a whole nother process. So if you're buying something that hasn't been permitted, know that that could take another 6 to 7 months easily, depending on the county. But here in Washington County, that's about what it runs. And so you can take that into account for planning purposes.
The other thing too is all these builders at different times of the year sometimes offer different incentives. Maybe they're throwing in some upgrades you don't have to pay for. We've seen a lot of financing incentives just because interest rates have been going up. And sometimes they offer better financing than even a typical bank or lender can do. But it just depends on the time of the year, what the market's of course doing. So if you have any questions on that, please reach out to us because we typically know what the builders are offering throughout the year or can check on it for you. But this is a big community with a lot of things going on. As we take you through the neighborhood, you're going to see it's an active construction site. The newer phase, you know, the upper part of River Terrace is pretty much all built out, but the lower phase is going to probably take the better part of the next 2 years, maybe more, depending on how quickly they sell out. But phase 2 of River Terrace is also actively in progress. We haven't seen the commercial retail spaces go in yet. We're anticipating there's going to be some anchor stores and some things that are going to make it really walkable. Their whole intention with River Terrace is to connect them all and make it really walkable and make it a various different styles of homes for these communities. But it's one of a kind. We really don't have planned communities in and around Portland going in. You'd see something like this in like Texas or Arizona or Florida where they have lots of land. But here where we have the urban growth boundary, there's just not a lot of land to do these kind of big master plan communities. So it's one of a kind. That's why I wanted to show you around.
So some things to think about when you're purchasing new construction is it's really easy and enticing to go visit all these sales offices on your own, which is great. However, if you choose to work with a real estate broker, just know that you'll want to connect with them before connecting with these new construction sales offices. And we say that just simply for the fact that a lot of times these sales offices, once you've connected, they consider you their client. But something to keep in mind is that these sales offices operate for the builder/seller, and they're not always operating in your best interest, or, you know, they are not your fiduciary. So it's always beneficial to make sure that you're working with somebody who's, you know, looking out for your best interests. And a lot of people think, oh, it's new construction, I don't need to worry about it. I don't need to worry about inspections, or, you know, it's really straightforward. I can't tell you the number of times that I've had my buyers do home inspections.
Sewer scopes, unbelievably. The number of sewer scopes we've had go wrong on new construction just goes to show that had we just assumed, or somebody could easily not do a sewer scope, and then they'd be stuck with a bad sewer scope. And it's shocking we've seen that in new construction. It
happens, and if you think about the fact that they're moving a lot of earth and then they're building on it. Settling happens, and that's a big deal with sewer lines because, you know, it's a big ticket repair item. And just even in negotiating things, you want to know that you have somebody who's looking out for yourself, because things can go awry. Knowing your rights, I mean, technically new construction options, you know, like you'll go through at the end a punch list of things that need to get fixed on the house. Technically, they have 30 days usually after the close of escrow, after you own the home, to finish those things. But what happens, you know, kind of advocating for you if those things aren't getting done, or, you know, you're having issues. So if it's your plan, and it should be your plan to work with a broker who's going to look out for your best interests, make sure that you let them connect you or register you with the communities that you're interested in before you go visiting all these sales offices, because it can kind of put you in a little bit of a pickle,
especially if you want representation later.
And you just, you know, really should have somebody looking out for your best interest.
Hey, thanks for joining us today as we toured through the new construction Bull Mountain neighborhood of River Terrace. If you have any questions about new construction or looking in this area, all of our information is in the description below, whether it's 9 days or 90 days and you're making the move, hit us up. We'd love to help, and we'll see you on the next video.